Greetings, greetings, greetings. I know that it is a little late, and I usually come on a little bit earlier, but it is new moon. So I was out doing my new moon rituals, and something just told me to come on live. So I'm coming on live. I am being obedient and coming on in here to spend some time with you guys and give you a little insight on what I've been working on, what I've been feeling that needs to happen for this new moon. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, it's a little funny how these YouTubes are seeming to come out to play with me right now. My job is just to show up. That is my job right now, just to show up. So I decided that every Tuesday I would come and I would do some kind of reading. And for some reason tonight, it's new moon, which is really good. So the reading is about things that you can do for the new moon. So that's what I'm getting right now. Thank you for everybody coming in. Hey, C. Hi, my love. Thank you for coming in. I have story time at the same time that I am doing this new moon, special. That's what I'm gonna call it right now because there has been so much going on right now. So it's kind of funny that this would show up at this time. Like I said, this is all I was supposed to do was show up. God would show me what to do once I got here and I started. So I started setting up my setup, and the cards fell out when I was outside with Maya because Maya hasn't been feeling well. She had her teeth done. So she hasn't been feeling well at all today. And I've been giving her peppermint tea to try to settle out her stomach. And then she was reading something. And as we were standing outside, the chamomile card fell out. So she asked me, Mommy, do you have any chamomile tea? And I says, yes, I have some chamomile vanilla honey tea. And she was like, that sounds good. So that's what I made her. So this is funny because they're talking about how chamomile is good to celebrate the new moon that's coming in. Oh, I will definitely tell her that you were sending her healing. She would love that. So chamomile came out because she was talking about how her stomach needs to settle down and how she just feels like she just wants to rest and she really couldn't rest last night. So I was like, okay, so that works very well. And then this is chamomile, and it also has to do with the sun and the moon, if you see it up there at the top. So I said, this is really good for this new moon energy that we're feeling to get back into our positive atmosphere. And it's so funny because last night it stormed here really, really bad. And the top of the tree that's out front fell and it hit the front door area. So when we went outside today, we didn't see any big time damage, but there was a lot of debris out there. So after I took the kids to school, I came home and I just started picking up the debris and went on the telephone with one of my close friends, and she was telling me how, when a tree falls down in front of your house like that, it kind of means like new beginnings, new things coming in, new adventures, renewing your connection with nature. And it's so funny because everything that's out here on the table, from the tourmalized quartz to the septarian to the labradorite, the moss agate, everything that's on this table has to do with being connected to Mother Nature or being connected to your higher self, using more intuitive powers and everything else. So I'm like, wow. And that's what Yarrow it does also. So I'm like, all these cards and everything that's on the table is coming out. But getting back to the story, so I'm out there and I'm picking up all the debris And as I'm picking up the debris, I'm just thanking the tree for giving us what it gave us. You know, it gave us shelter. It gave us shade. It now is giving us wood for our new moon fire. So it was just so much that this tree was giving us. So now we're giving it back to the earth. I found two really cool walking sticks um, from the branches that fell. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know, so we can start renewing, reusing what has already been used at one point. So that is something that we always want to remember when we go out into nature, to bring something back that you can represent that you've been on that walk or you've been in that area. So it's very good that I saw those walking sticks. And not just that, I was able to bring another stick inside and might start making a wand. I wanted to make a decorative wand. So I have a couple of different stones that I want to put in it and everything else. So this kind of like is bringing me back to getting in touch with nature again. I've lost contact with nature. I haven't been outside as much as I should. So now it's starting to swing me back into that arena of being out in nature. So I'm just like really in love with what is going on right now in my life. So hopefully you guys are also starting to see balance restoring in your life. That you're also starting to see that you're starting to become more sensitive to being in nature, and also more sensitive to your surroundings. You're starting to see things in a different light. You're starting to really incorporate your spirituality into your reality. Okay, a lot of us try to separate the two, and we're starting to feel, or we had at one point felt that we did not um, meet the expectations. People in our world didn't meet the expectations as we were growing. Okay, so now we're starting to see that, you know, they don't have to meet our expectations. We have to be able to see them where they're at. Okay, so it's really, really understanding that phrase, meeting people where they're at. Okay. Um, so with that being said, Yarrow, I wanted to talk a little bit about the card that came up. Hopefully y'all can see that card and it's not too much of a glare on it. But Yarrow, it talks about if you're feeling emotionally drained or too sensitive for today's world, it's time to set solid boundaries to to regain balance. Use your empathic abilities as grounding cords to your psychic powers and divinatory skills. Allow your sensitivity to be filtered for what is allowed within your psychic field and what isn't. Like the magic of the white heron, move slowly with precision as you navigate emotional waters. The heron teaches us the power of self reflection as a way to transcend judgmental projects and low self worth. Draw clear boundaries and examine yourself from a detached perspective. Don't blame situations or others as as a reason to remain stuck. Yarrow's white light teaches us the power of shielding while remaining gentle in the process of self discovery. So that's what it's so funny. Like I keep saying, this is what's coming up for a lot of us right now. Just learning how to be ourselves and allowing others to be themselves. So I'm really at an appreciative standpoint right now with this. The astrological ruler of Yarrow is Venus. So again, um, that loving element, not just the loving element, but the self love that comes with that. Okay, I love to put Yarrow in, but the self love that comes with that. I'm sorry about that. I love to put Yarrow in my bath. So this is something that also is available to a lot of Canadians for free because it grows on the side of the highway for them. Okay. So this is something that I would introduce if you haven't introduced yarrow into your healing process. I would definitely introduce that into your um, what would I say? I would definitely introduce that into your spiritual bath or yoni steam, or just if you're out doing a burn pile, I would put that in there, or getting yourself some tea that is made with yarrow. Okay, that is one of the things that I would suggest everyone, start bringing themselves into doing. Um, the next one, like I was saying, would be chamomile. Okay, chamomile is the next card that we're looking at right now. And chamomile also, like I was saying, was a tea that you can use for comfort, for sorry, my brain just said there was somebody coming through the door and my brain just said, I don't remember what else I'm supposed to say. But chamomile is a good one for softening, for purity, for inner peace, harmony. It brings harmony for yourself. Um, so this is another one that's good for teas. This is another flower that I would put inside my spiritual bath. This is something else that I would use for calming. This and lavender. Lavender goes very well with chamomile and yarrow. I can say that for a fact. Okay. Um, and it helps, like I said, with the nervous system, the emotional body. It's ruled by the moon and by the sun. So this is a very, very good thing to use to harmonize out all of that. Okay. If you find yourself often triggered and consumed by small stresses, be aware that they are accumulating, creating a chronic state of disharmony and fear. Chamomile today is reminding you not to project your fears onto life and others. Allow yourself a state of internal peace and give yourself the greatest love imagined. Chamomile, like dear energy, instills a contained center of innocence, warmth, and light within us. Dear blesses us with the power of gentleness to heal our wounds and the heart mind of wounded beings. Don't push hard to do the work. It's the gentleness of the spirit that heals all. So that is what chamomile is coming in for. And then the sage, which was funny because it was right behind the chamomile. When the chamomile fell out on the ground in front of Maya, the sage was there too, but it fell out on the backside, so she didn't see it. But the sage says that it's good for grounding, okay? But it's also good for blessings, okay? And it's also good for clearing the house. Now, I like to use white sage when I'm clearing my house. If I'm going to use sage other than Palo Santo, I will use white sage to clear the house out, okay? Um, I'm sorry. Am I in the camera with it? I'm sorry if it's off the camera. I can't see. I hope it's on the camera. Okay. So this is good for blessings, purification, invocation, spiritual gifts, spiritual cleansing, reassembling emotional bodies, and mystical insights. So again, we're talking about emotional bodies. We're talking about the spirit that we have um, right now. We're going through a lot of purging. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a lot of us are doing emotional purging. We're really getting in touch with the things that have hurt us, our inner child woundings, or our traumas that we're going through that is starting to come out of us at a ooh, baby girl's choking in there. Hope she's okay. Um it's coming out of us right now at a fast rate. We are moving faster than normal. I know a lot of people have been talking about noticing that time seems to be like almost standing still, but we're not standing still, kind of. So I really am at a point where I see it. It's like I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It feels like it should be like 5. It feels like it should be 6, and the sun should be coming up. So I'm really feeling that time difference starting to come into play. Um, so for me, like I was saying with the sage, I would sage when necessary. Okay. Sage when necessary and sage with purpose. Set the intention on what it is that you're trying to do with the sage. Okay. And for me, I'm trying to clear, cleanse, purify, recalibrate the recalibrate my home, the harmony in my home, okay, the harmony in myself, because I've noticed that I've really been out of touch with my body and mind. Okay, they have not been connecting the way I would like them to. So I noticed that now more meditation, or should I say, really getting into the meditation. Sometimes you sit here and you say that I'm meditating, but your mind is all over the place. You're really not thinking about anything. Or sometimes, being honest with myself, sometimes I can't even get into a meditative space. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, burps, or confirmation that I'm telling the truth. I cannot get into a meditative space. I set my alarm clock for 5:20 every morning so that I can be up before my kids and, say a prayer and try to write in my journal. I have not written in my journal for over 2 months. Okay. I have not. I have been disconnected. And I could not figure out what in the world, why am I disconnected? Why am I feeling like I just do not have the urge, the motivation anymore to connect? Seriously. Okay. So this is how I know that I'm on the right path, or I'm bringing myself back to the right path, because I'm now listening to spirit, God, whatever you want to call your higher power that you believe in. I'm starting to listen more to what they're asking me to do, what they're telling me to do. Like I said at the beginning of this YouTube, it's just my job to show up. From there, it's whatever God and spirit is asking of me. But my job is just to show up. If I can show up for myself, then I'm showing up for you guys. That's where I'm at in my walk right now. I'm trying to regain where I left off, because, with this big move that I had and with the big emotional things that came with the move, it was just a roller coaster ride for me. So I see myself now that this is me coming back into doing what God has asked me to do. And that was to be a mouthpiece for Him, to allow whatever I'm going through to bless the next person. So, in order for me to be a blessing, I have to be obedient. I have to come. I have to be here. I have to do what He's asking me to do. So, it's the same thing for you guys. Now it's time for you guys to step into your guys' power and do what it is that He's asking you to do, even when you don't feel like it. Okay. I fight myself every time to come on YouTube, because I'm like, who really wants to hear what I have to say? Okay. Sometimes I do the same thing when I'm going on to my TikToks. It's like, who really wants to hear what I have to say? And then I start getting people into my group. Sometimes it might just be my regulars, but still, the whole thing is, They're out here, they need a word, they need some motivation, they need to see somebody being authentically themselves so that they can be authentically themselves. So, getting back to what sage means. Sorry, I went off into a rant, but God wanted me to say what I needed to say. So it's sage. Says sage, like the moon card in tarot, is the great portal to the river of life. The silver light of sage grants us the power of insight while we navigate the darkest hours. The lunar powers of sage remind us to look inward to receive visionary insights from spirit. Don't get overly consumed by the emotional interplay. Allow it to pass like the clouds. Draw upon the inner reserves of your psyche to navigate darkness and become keenly aware of what is causing inner disturbances, fear, and unhappiness. The initiation you are undergoing, although unfamiliar, is a great blessing. Feel yourself cease and resemble as you break the illusions to unearth hidden truths. Surrender. Don't stand in your own way. Allow silvery white light of sage to shatter the illusion as you undergo a great awakening. Well, dang. Everything that I just said is what SAGE stands for. How about that? Okay, so this is the time of your great awakening. I'm just gonna say that much. Thank you, Spirit, because that just like set everything where I needed it to be. So this is your great awakening, allowing yourself to be open again to the process. Just having that mustard seed of faith in your process. You are on the right track. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are going through, whatever you are feeling, you are on the right track. Ooh, excuse me. I keep telling y'all burps are confirmation. Okay. Um, I don't know what else I'm feeling right now. I don't know if I'm feeling to give you a card or just an affirmation for right now because this I'm really not understanding what God wants me to do right now. I see the soul journey cards. Okay, I haven't opened them. So I think I'm gonna do one pull from Soul Journey just to see where we're at. Thank you, God, for allowing the messages to come through. If there's anything that you want us to know from Soul Journey, please allow it to be known right now. So let's see. Do we have anything that needs to come from? Yes, we do. Okay, gratitude. Okay, I like that. I like that. I just finished saying that I haven't been in my car. Okay, I have purpose. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just finished saying that I haven't been doing my gratitude journal. So we have to get that empathy and trust. Okay, that sounds about right now. That sounds about right. So we're doing gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I like that. I like that one. It's time to be grateful for everything that's coming in right now. It says, purpose. I know what I am here to do, which we do. And we sometimes go against our calling. We sometimes go against what our soul is telling us to do, and we actually go with what our mind is telling us to do when that is not where we always need to be. Okay, we need to be on the same wavelength as our higher power. So I'm really feeling that. It says you have chosen to reincarnate on earth for one major goal: to express love in all you do. The obstacles of this physical dimension can distract you from your goals, and it's easy to lose your way. Life on earth is full of obstacles. of obligations that require your conscious attention. But that doesn't mean that you can't infuse all of your decisions with care and compassion. Your purpose in life is not your career. Rather, your career is guided by your purpose. What what activities speak to your soul? What brings you joy? That is the direction that your soul is calling you towards to best convey your own unique expressions of love and make a contribution to the world. If you are not happy with your current circumstances, then that is your soul telling you that there's a better way to manifest your own distinct gifts. Listen to your intuition. It is your connection to spirit and your voice of your soul. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I keep saying sometimes I have to fight myself to come here, but I know that this is where my soul wants to be because I feel free when I do this work. Okay? Empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. This hits home. I'm not even gonna lie. That empathy card hits home because I have a visitor coming in this weekend and I'm struggling a lot with being able to see both sides of the situation. So, yes, that hits home for me. I'm not gonna lie. Having empathy is something that I do for other people, but when it comes to people that are close to me, that have hurt me, or that I have accidentally hurt, it's hard for me to forgive myself enough to have empathy for myself sometimes or for them. So, this is something that kind of like hits home. It says, you don't truly understand others' motivations if you haven't lived their life and seen the world through their eyes. It's so easy to judge another's behavior matched up against your own and label it as right or wrong. But your mission but you're missing an important part of the equation: the other person's history and personal path. We are all sparks of the divine with a purpose here in the physical dimension, and we can all expert our free will. Some of us have lost our way along our path to love. And it is a human reaction to judge others before examining their journey through their eyes with compassion. Your job is not to judge, your job is to love and understand. That is so funny. I'm just going to share a little something with you because I really did write that down. It says, what am I not taking into consideration if there is anything? Can I really sit with this and understand it? I just can't seem to shake how I can get over the thought of looking for something outside instead of waiting for something and wanting to blame the other. So believe me, these cards are not just for you. These are also for me. Okay? That just gave me a complete answer that I was looking for. So that I have to remember to leave that on the table because that definitely spoke to me. And then the last one is trust. The last one is trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. That is like, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Wow. Just wow. The earth can be a tricky place, but you have been given the tool to help you navigate through the murky waters: your intuition. You must learn to tell the difference between ego talk and soul talk, and then trust your soul. Once you get into the habit of following your intuition, you will come to practice that discernment externally. You will be able to know if a person or situation is trustworthy. But it all begins with listening to your inner voice. Exercise it like a muscle. And when you determine that it is always right, that wisdom will spread out and influence everything that you do. Decisions will seem easier. Your soul only wants what's best for you, and you must learn to trust it. Well, 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 my. That is like a mouthful and a handful all at the same time. So I hope that these, ooh, excuse me, I hope that these explanations and that these cards have helped you, have given you a little insight to where you need to work and where your work has actually been paying off for you. I'm just trying to get them up there so you can see them all. Okay. So this is what I'm getting. Okay. I think you can see them all. Hopefully they're not. Hopefully they are not all hazy. If they are, forgive me. Let's see if I can bring them down a little bit so you can see them a little bit more. Sorry. Hopefully you can see them and they're not that bad. But we have gratitude, trust, purpose, empathy. And our herbal astrology is yarrow, chamomile, sage. Yarrow is harmonize or harmony. Chamomile, inner peace, sage, blessings. I hope that this was a blessing for you. I think I'm going to go out with a Louise Hay affirmation. Oh, well, dang. Okay. I asked for an affirmation and there it goes. Let's just see what else it is. If there's anything else that Louise Hayes wants us to think about as we go throughout our week. And I think that is it. So that's what we're going to take. It says, there is no blame. I can't even think of anything better to say with that. There is no blame. There is no blame. I release the need to blame anyone, including myself. We are all doing the best we can with the understanding, knowledge, and awareness we have. And I just finished saying in my own workings uh, for this new moon, as I was writing and coming up with my intentions, I asked myself, who is to blame? Is there any blame? And if there was, to take it away. And this is my answer. So we're releasing everybody from the judgments that we put onto them and onto ourselves. Releasing ourselves from the guilt, releasing ourselves from the shame, releasing ourselves from the pain, the hurt, the anguish, the anxiety, the depression. We are releasing ourselves of that, and anybody that we were holding that against. We are releasing that grudge. We are releasing that inconsistency in our spirit. We are releasing it. We are letting it go. Setting the intentions to have pure love, joy, compassion, care, kindness, loving, being soft and tranquil, and harmonizing our energies so that they all work in perfect harmony with each other and within us. Balancing our emotional, mental, physical bodies, allowing them to merge into ourselves, into each other, and learning how to just live life without holding anybody else responsible for our inner peace. We are in control of that. Amen. Ashe. Namaste. So it is, and so it will be. I am Naomi's Light with Delectables 77. I hope everybody has a blessed night, and thank you for chiming in.